we do a challenge called Fearless 44. You should check it out. Anyone listening should check it out. It's a free challenge called Fearless 44. You just type in fearless44.com.
Okay, fearless44.com. We'll make sure we link all that.
Yeah. And I've been doing that this is the 4th year now. I'm actually in it now. It's like 8 daily tasks that you do. And the sheet that I created is just an exercise we called Fulfillment 50. And you write down 10 things for each of the 5. So basically you write out your 10 blessings, you write out your 10 reasons why you do what you do, your 10 targets that you're trying to hit with deadlines. Then you write your 10 consequences if you don't hit those. What happens if you don't hit those? If you don't give $100,000 to the charity of your choice this year, who suffers? And that way it brings some pain when you think about not working that extra hour or working on Saturday or whatever. And then lastly, it's 10 excuses. One of my targets that I wrote down, one of the most important for me is to move into, an investor and advisor role over being a CEO. I've been in that grind for years now, and I love startup mode, man. I heard a guy, I think maybe
a lot of entrepreneurs are like that.
Oh, dude, for sure. I think it was Reid Hoffman and Blitzscaling. Have you read Blitzscaling?
I have not, no.
Dude, one of the best books ever. I saw you got some great books. You got to read Blitzscaling. Okay. One of the best ever, especially for your business model. Yeah. If you haven't read it, read it. But he talks about there being 3 different types of entrepreneurs, and it really relates to the military. So you have your Marines that are going to storm the beach. Yeah. That's what they're good for. They love chaos. They know some of them are going to be taken out, but they love chaos. Right. You have the Army that once the beach is taken, they're going to go into the city and they're going to take the city. So you have your Army. They kind of take the city. Then you have your police that come in and they're going to stabilize the city. Yeah. They're going to be there long term. They're the ones, they're living by systems and processes. The Marines don't care anything about systems and processes. They're like, let's just go. And then you got your Army, and they're starting to build in systems and processes and stabilize for the police to take over. Dude, it's the same thing with entrepreneurs. Yeah. It was a big shift for me when I read that book because, it was about 2-3 years into my business. And I was starting to lose some of the people that started with me. And dude, that's super painful, man.
That
people
is one
you
of the
love.
most painful things ever, especially because when you first start out, anyone watching this who's ever started a business, who are the first people you talk to about it? Normally you don't go to these multi-millionaires or whatever. You're not able to connect with them, right? Yeah. You're connecting with your friends and family, and you're doing something together. And whether they stay on the path long-term or not, I think every entrepreneur has experienced that in some way. And you're right. That's some of the most painful shit you'll ever go through, right?
But he explains how it's super similar. Like those people relate to Marines. Like they're willing to come in and deal with the chaos. But as the business gets built out and the systems and processes are in place, they're not great at it. And dude, that's me. I'm not great at let's have our weekly meeting with EOS and talk for 90 minutes. That's just not my personality. Like, dude, when I see freaking meeting every week and we're going to talk about the same thing half the time, I'm like, dude, I'm not wasting my life on that.
Yeah,
right. I want to go do something, hop on a podcast, do a training, hang out with my kid, whatever. Right. So there's different types of people and knowing how to handle that and try to make it okay with everyone and structure your business in that way is super important. But that makes it really tough when you start to lose people that you started with. Yeah. But do you know Travis Chappell with Guestio?
No, man. You got all these names I need to get to know, man.
Huge podcast, one of the top podcasts. I'll connect you with him after this.
That'd be awesome.
He's interviewed some studs, been doing it for a long time, and he's got this platform called Guestio. And so basically it's like Cameo. If you know Cameo, where you can go in there and book celebrities, you can go to Guestio and book people for your podcast. So you go on there right now and book Manny Pacquiao for your podcast.
Wait, what?
Yeah, dude. You have to check it out. So
wait. I'm sorry. You just said he has a thing that can help get book.
Yeah. Like Guestio.com. You go to it. It's guest, like you spell guest, IO.com, Guestio.com. Okay. So there's Manny Pacquiao. There's some huge names on there.
Well, shit.
Yeah, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah,
so,
no kidding.
So that's a cool one. I invested in that, and then I'm a partner in a software called RepCard. We talked about that a little bit. Yeah. It's like a sales tool for sales organizations, and that one's super cool. It's just a quick funnel builder for a sales rep in a field. They're not going to go back and no hate at all to ClickFunnels. You got the awards up there. I got an award up on my wall. I love ClickFunnels. I've been using it for years. I made millions of dollars with ClickFunnels. Right. But a sales rep is not going to go back or quickly on their phone build out a funnel. No, but our app RepCard allows them to literally within, you saw it, less than 60 seconds, like less than 30 seconds, build a funnel specific to that buyer and send it to them. So just continue to invest in things like that and use, my relationships, my skills, strategy, whatever to help those things grow. Like that's what I'm most interested in. And then more than anything, man, is that leadership and legacy. When I look at my life, and I've been asking myself some really deep questions the last few months, like staying up late at night, whiteboard by myself, staring at the board, like not even writing anything yet, just in reflection, like what do I want to be remembered for? And these are some of these questions I've already answered, but it's like just continue to iterate and make sure that as I get older, I'm 30 years old now, man. We had a retreat last year, one of our free retreats. Old. Yeah, I know, bro. It's killing me. I got some gray hair.
Yeah, I see that.
Dude, I don't care anything about birthdays. I'm one of those guys, like, if it's my birthday and I got to travel, dude, I don't think about that.
Really?
But when I turned 30, dude, that whole day I was like on the couch, like, dude.
Fuck.
My wife had like hundreds of people send a video, like saying what I meant to them, and so did like an hour freaking video or whatever. It was like so cool, man.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I might have had like some tears or whatever. I was like, oh my God. But no, man, it's super cool. And I just want to continue to push down the path of building better leaders. About 3 years ago, I went through this stage where I was trying to figure out like what I wanted to be remembered for.
Yeah.
What crises did I want to solve in the world? And so I care a lot about like the water crisis. It's crazy to me. Like there's still 3.5 million or whatever people dying a year from unclean water. Dude, it's 2022.
Yeah.
And millions of people die from not having clean water in this world.
Yeah.
The father, I can't ever say this because it's so long, fatherlessness crisis with kids not having a father, underprivileged kids, veterans, like all those things have my heart. Yeah. And so I'm trying to figure out, it's like 3 years ago now, like what do I care most about? What am I going to hitch my wagon to and say, this is what I'm about. This is the problem I'm committed to solving while I'm here on earth. And I took like months to think through this, man. And I eventually just got to none of those things and leadership, because leadership can solve all of those things. You build better leaders, they're going to have the things they're passionate about, and then they start solving every one of those things. Yeah. And so I really dove into like John Maxwell and Craig Rochelle and like, dude, to continue developing as a leader and eventually take the torch from those guys and really just focus on people and shifting their mindset from impact to income is so important to me. We had a retreat last year in April. It was called the Relentless Retreat is the one that it was. And so my word this year is relentless, because that retreat, we had a guy named Lex Wilbanks. He was 30 years old. I was 30 years old. He came. You could look up the video right now. You type in Relentless Retreat, roofing.com. You would see it on Facebook. You'd see our football game. Every free retreat, we go to a local field with a turf field. We play football with the teams. Sick. We split it up. Yeah, we have jerseys. We have jerseys. You should come out to one, man.
I would love to. That'd be fun.
We have jerseys split up.
I told you I play football.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Yeah. And so one of the guys was Lex Wilbanks. He was a quarterback for the other team. You'll literally see him running around completely healthy. 4 months later, dies of cancer.
Holy shit! Did he know? Like when
that retreat now.
He didn't know that retreat.
4 months, man. Holy you can see the video. He's completely healthy. We have a tribute. Actually, if you type in Lex Wilbanks, roofing.com, that probably will come up first. We did like a tribute. I don't like telling this next part because it kind of spoils a little bit of our retreat, and I like for people to be surprised by it if they come. But I do an exercise at that retreat on day one where we take everybody to this cemetery, and it's in the middle of the mountains. Like, dude, when I say like it's creepy, like we pull up, people think we're gonna kill them. Like literally middle of nowhere, Tennessee.
Right.
And it's an old Civil War cemetery, so like all the headstones are pretty eroded.
Kind of like Remember the Titans kind of.
Yeah. It's and like sometimes, a lot of times it's in the mountains, so it'll be kind of drizzling rain. I've done this a ton of times. Yeah. And so we have every man line up on a headstone, and I have them go through an exercise where they write their eulogy of who they want to be remembered as. Not who they are, not what their wife would say, their kid would say right now, what they want them to say. And, I talked them through it of like, hey, and I'm just saying some like hard stuff, man. And like most of these guys are breaking down crying because I'm like rough in their face. Like, do you want them to say you're the guy that never puts down the phone, the guy that never shows up to dance for the daughter, the guy that never shows up to the football game? Or do you want to be the dad that treated their mom with respect and love and care, and like just challenge them to really think about who they want to be? And so then at the end they come up and they one by one stand in front of all the men and they read it. And dude, just tears most of the time. And so we have a video of Lex reading his eulogy. What would be 4 months later, he ends up passing away, man. And it's like I've had a couple of situations in my life, and I don't want to go too long. I don't want
you're
time
fine.
straight
You're
or
all
whatever.
good.
But that one, man, hit me really hard, and that was Relentless Retreat. So this year, Relentless is my word, in honor of him. Like, I'm just going to give it everything I have this year. In 2015, right before I left the fire department, he wasn't my partner at the time. My old partner, Jordan Howard, was on his way to work, and he got hit head on by a guy running from the cops, and he passed away. That was a huge shift for me. He was 30 years old at the time. I was only like 24. It was 2015. And so he was 30 years old at the time. He had a brand new daughter, like 4 months old. She was born in May. It happened in September. Beautiful wife. And so just like a couple of these things, man, Jordan and Lex, and like, dude, I know their family and their other friends and people they led. Like, they'll continue to represent their legacy. Yeah. But if nothing else, I will. Like, I've made that commitment. Yeah. I will carry their legacy on, and I will, live hard and go hard for them. Right. Because they meant a lot to me, and like seeing that just, man, impacted me in a really big way. And a lot of people, they look at death and they're like, it breaks them and it's sad. And I've seen it so many times. Like, even people in my family, it drives me nuts. Like, oh, here we go again, another death in the family, poor us. And it's like, dude, it happens. It's life. Right. It is. You got an expiration date. I'm about to drop a book called Make It Count in the next like 3 months. It's called Make It Count. All right,
make sure you send me a copy. Send me the link. I'll buy it.
Up there, man.
And put it up there.
Yeah, but it's literally like ensuring when your life expires that your legacy lives on. Because, dude, our life has an expiration date. And that sounds corny, bro, but
true.
It is true, man.
The second you realize that, the second you value every fucking minute of your day,
every day, every week, every month, every year. Yeah, dude, like, but your legacy doesn't have to die. Yeah. Like, you think about the greats. You think about the greats, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Kobe Bryant, bro. It's a perfect example. Yeah. Like Kobe Bryant, how many people talk about him daily? Yeah. This was huge for me. You've made it when you go around and you ask a room of 10 people, and like at least 8 or 9 can tell you where they were when Kobe died. Yeah. Dude, I know exactly where I was when Kobe died. Yeah. Do you know where you were?
I was literally in the gym.
I hope I didn't ruin it. He's like, no, I don't know where I was. Ruined my point.
No, I was actually in the gym. Yeah. Yeah, when I found, like, and I got the notification on my phone. It's like, I actually remember like a bunch of people, like it went up on the news and everyone was like,
no way. Like you didn't even believe it. Yeah. Like literally we were running over, we were playing flag football in my little hometown, like 20 of us. First guy got over the bench for halftime, we're in water break. He's like, Kobe Bryant's dead. And we're all like, no way. We all go sprinting over to our phones, ESPN. We're like, no way, dude. Yeah. And like, it just changed the day for everybody. It's like somebody like that, you just,
when the world stops.
Dude, man, you see how much work they put in, how much good they do to give back. It's just, dude, I want that to be my legacy. Yeah. Not that I need it for name recognition, but impact. How many people am I going to touch that are never going to know my name? Yeah. They're never going to see my face. I'm never going to see their face. I'm never going to get a thank you card, but I touched them in some way. And dude, I love through our mastermind. I get probably a message a week or something from like our event, like our bigger event, but like our mastermind, our retreats, I get messages all the time of people saying like, hey, I want you to see this, this screenshot of our salesperson that was able to buy a house because we led them in a way that you taught us how to lead them or whatever. Just seeing the situation. And obviously I always respond with like, hey, you did the work. We just kind of showed you the way. Right. They did the work. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, like, dude, it feels amazing.
Of course.
It makes the work, it makes the time away from my son being in Salt Lake City.
That's the fulfillment that every man wants.
Absolutely. Yeah.